All right, we're watching this video now. It's one of the videos in the link, and if you want to see those resources, there's a link to all of the stuff that we're using in the class in the description down below, and including that, which is really valuable. And then where are the videos, man? The videos are here. So we're watching that one. So anyhow, these resources are all linked in the description below. And what she's talking about is another way we can measure spread. And so I'm just looking in here. We got mean, median, mode, and we didn't talk about resistance yet, but spread, the range to the standard deviation. And so here we have some data, and range is the quickest way, right? So we have two stores, store A, store B, right? And we could see the spread of the data. Store A, the highest value is 110, the lowest value is 90, 110, 90. Here in B, it's 130, 70. So we could see the spread by just looking at the range, right? So range is one way. And up here, we could calculate the range also. So up here, we have 18 and 2 are the two values. And so that would be a range of 16. And over here, this has a range of 2, right? So range is a useful measure of spread, right? What's the range? Where's the lowest value? Where's the highest value? What's the range? So we know our center, we know our average, our mean, maybe we also know our median and our mode, but what's the spread, right? That's why this week the first slide is numerical summaries, right? These are descriptive statistics. It's ways of describing our statistics. We could do it with charts and graphs like last week. We could do it with numbers, what we're looking at this week. Numerical summaries, numerical descriptions of our statistics, descriptive statistics, right? And we want to look at center and spread. So range is another way we can look at spread. And then she has interquartile range. And I'm just looking to see if interquartile range is covered here. So here's interquartile range, okay? And the first quartile, the third quartile, and then a 5-number summary, minimum, Q1, medium, Q3, maximum, right? That would be the 5-number summary. So the quartile, the way we do quartiles, hold on one second. So the way we do quartiles is that we take all of our data, I'm just making sure I'm recording. Here's all of our data, and then we divide it in half. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 data points. So half of our data is that's the first half. The second half's here, right? So the first quartile is going to be the median of the lower half. And so that is going to be 1050. And the median's the middle. And so the middle, we have 4 here. So we have 1,000, 1,100 divided by 2 gives us 1050. The third quartile is going to be the median of the upper half. So 1,300 and 1,400 divided by 2 is 1,350, right? And the median is the middle, which is going to be these two right here. So we got the first quartile, we got the third quartile. We have, you could call it the median, or you could call it Q2, Q1, Q2, Q3. And then the 5-number summary is going to be our minimum value, our maximum value. So here's our minimum, here's our maximum. And it's going to be the first quartile, it's going to be the median, or Q2, and then it's going to be the third quartile. So let me just give you an example. Let's get 8 more numbers. Generate 8 numbers for me in ascending order between, I don't know, 100 and 200. All right, so with a pencil and a piece of paper, what's the median? Or just in your own head, what's the median? I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Boop. What's the median? The medians, we have even numbers, right? So 3 on the left, 3 on the right. Those are the 2 in the middle. Add them together, divide by 2. What's 139 and 151 added together? It's going to be 280, 290. 290 divided by 2 is going to be 145, right? So is this correct? Median Q2 equals 145. Is that what I said? 290. Q1 is going to be what? Q1, we're going to look at these right here. We're going to take the two in the middle, 114 and 127. That's 220, 231. Is that right? Is it 231? 114 plus 127. Is that equal to 200? Is 27 plus, it's 41, right? 27 plus 14 is 41. Divide by 2 is equal to 120.5. Okay. Q3 is equal to 168 plus 183. 168 plus 183. And that's going to be equal to what? 140, 340, 351. Is that right? 351. 351 divided by 2 is equal to 150, 25, 175.5. Is that right? No. And then we have 5-number summary. All right, and then what's the lowest value? 102. And what's the highest value? 197. So you can see here by doing a 5-number summary, we start to get a picture of our data. We got the range, which is 102 to 197, the low and the high. It's got a range of 95. And then we have our interquartile range, and we have our 5-number summary. And what is the range? The range is 197 minus 102 is equal to 95. What is the IQR? So let's see what AI says. Yes, your 5-number summary is correct for the 8 numbers. Minimum, Q1, median, Q3, maximum, and yes, the range is this. The IQR is Q3 minus Q1 is 55, is the interquartile range. So you don't have to be confused by this stuff. You don't have to be like, oh my God, what is all this stuff? Because it all comes back to a central concept of center and spread. And the center might mislead you. The average might mislead you. If Elon Musk or Bill Gates is in the room, the average salary is going to be really high. The median and the mode is going to help you see what's the most frequently occurring number, what's the mode. What's the middle number? What's the median, right? And if we have even numbers, we take the 2 middle ones and divide by 2. And then the spread's going to tell us how spread out is this data. And so we want to know both the center and the spread. And now we're talking about different ways that we could use numbers to understand our data, our statistics. And we could use standard deviation, calculate the standard deviation and the variance. That's one way we could do it. We could also look at the range. We could also do this 5-number summary thing and break things into quarters, right? Q1, Q2, the median, Q3. Because if you have data, here's my data. Let's say all my data's here, right? There's all my data, and I do a Q1, and I do a Q2, the median, and I do a Q3. How many parts do I have? Why are these quartiles? Because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. We draw 3 lines, we get 4 quarters, right? And the interquartile range tells me this. Interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. And so now we're just learning like different ways to talk about spread. You don't have to memorize them. You don't have to be like, oh my God, it's so much stuff. No, dude, you totally get it. You want to go supplier A or supplier B? Well, what's the average delivery time? It's 10 on both of them. What's the spread? Well, supplier A delivers in 9, 10, or 11 days, and supplier B delivers in 2 days, 10 days, or 18 days. Well, hell, let's go with A. B's unreliable. Might get it in 2 days, might get it in 18 days. Can't schedule on that. Screw those people, right? Makes sense. You get it, right? Say, yeah, I get it. Say, I. Yeah, okay, and then the rest of it is just like, okay, now we're just talking about different ways statisticians talk about spread. They talk about standard deviation. They talk about variance. They talk about range. They talk about interquartile range, the difference between Q3 and Q1. They talk about a 5-number summary, right? Low number, high number, Q1, Q2, the median, Q3. All right, see, it's simple enough. And then the more you work with data, the more you start to be like, well, which ones really make sense? We saw how if, Bill Gates or Elon Musk walks in the room, the average is going to be drawn. It's going to be skewed. It's going to be moved, by an outlier. But the mean and the median don't. And then the range is going to tell us the spread. Well, that's a huge spread, right? From $33,000 to $2.8 billion. That's a huge spread. So we're just talking about center and spread, which is why it all starts out center and spread. Get it?